what's up guys? Welcome to the first episode of AMAP, aka As Many As Possible, where I try to watch as many movies and TV shows as I possibly can on a streaming service, and I'm going to be using HBO Max. Our first episode is going to be on The Conjuring. By the way, I'm going to be doing all 3 Conjuring movies leading up to The Devil Made Me Do It, which is going to come off of HBO Max on July 4th, so I need to edit and do these videos fast. Now, I'm going to be real blunt with you guys. This movie came out when I was about 10. And around that age, I never really watched horror movies. I was always terrified of them because I would always fear going to the bathroom by myself after I watched one. And so I missed out on a lot of horror movies. And I think now I'm definitely at the age to where I don't have to worry about that anymore. So I need to catch up on all these horror movies that people have been talking about. And so I'm happy to say that I really enjoyed The Conjuring. It was interesting to see The Conjuring because you always hear people talking about how scary it is and how good of a film it is, and I've never seen any trailers or scenes from the movie, and so I thought it was really interesting to see it with a fresh new set of eyes. Let's first start with the positives. This movie was directed by the man, the myth, the legend, James Wan, who is responsible for movies such as The First Saw, Insidious, Furious 7, Aquaman, and so on. And he's clearly a master at what he does. He clearly knows what he's doing. He's a creative, interesting, and smart guy. And that has to be probably my favorite part of the entire movie, his directing. There are so many shots in the movie that are so creative, so interesting, that build up the tension, and you have to credit the man. There are slow zooms in the movie that are really fantastic. They remind me a lot of Stanley Kubrick's work. When you see those slow zooms, it truly feels like there's someone watching this poor family, the Perron family, and it does build up this sort of eeriness and uncomfortable feeling of being watched, and I really enjoyed that. Another thing I loved about the movie is the acting. Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga play as Ed and Lorraine Warren, the couple that do paranormal investigations. I think they did a fantastic job. I really loved their connection. And by the end of the movie, you care for them because their acting was incredible. I thought they did an amazing job. Another thing I loved is the scares of this movie. This movie knows when to jump scare and when to keep the people waiting for a jump scare, It's great to see that anticipation, and when the jump scare comes, it pays off because that tension was built up, and it did a fantastic job on knowing when to time it. I did have one flaw about the movie, and it has to do with the Perron family, the family that are being tormented by this demon. While their acting wasn't bad or anything, I clearly cared for them by the end because they're being tormented, and you grow some sympathy for these people, of course. You're not really invested in the family because you don't really know them. They're kind of underdeveloped. The only development we get is the mother. We get a flashback on them being at the beach, and that's about as far as the development goes. Other than that, you kind of just have to rely on their troubles to really care for the characters by the end. And you do. You don't need to completely develop the family, but they did feel a little underdeveloped. Especially the girls of the family. I only knew Joey King, and that's about it. I can't remember any other I don't remember any of their names. I know one of them was named April. I know that one. But as far as flaws, I think that's about it. I really loved this movie. This movie was great. But yeah, those are basically my points of the movie. Overall, I really loved this movie, and I'm excited to see the second one. And then after that, the third one. And then we continue to explore HBO Max. This is not a sponsor, by the way. I'm just watching on HBO Max. My final rating on the movie is going to be 8.5 out of 10. Yay! Definitely check it out if you haven't, and if you have, watch it again because it's just that good. I'll see you guys on the next episode of AMAP. Take care.